Hey guys, welcome to another video of a Python for Beginners tutorial, and in this video we're gonna talk about Python modules. I will cover custom modules, third-party modules and built-in modules. So sit down, sit back, relax and enjoy the video. Now diving deep into Visual Studio Code, I have created a new file called operations.py, where I define two mathematical operations. One is called the addition, which returns the addition of two numbers, and the other one is called the division, which returns the division of two numbers. Now imagine you have a new file called hands-on.py, and now you want to use addition and division. And because you defined it already in another file, which is called also module, you don't want to rewrite and overwrite the definitions of the function again and again. So in this case, Python provides you a way how you can import already existing functionality from another file, which is internally called module. So how to do it? You can easily import the whole module, so the whole operation file, by specifying it with the keyword called import. Now, import allows you to import the operations. Now, again, when you are running hands-on.py and you put the import statement inside the code, the Python will look for the imported operations first in its built-in functions. Then if it's not presented there, it will look through the folder where the file hands-on resides, and then if it's there, it will import the operations. So hands-on is here and operations are there. So it's possible to import the operations. And now after importing the operations, you can use the addition function as simple as operations.addition. And you can put there the two parameters as it was in the definition. So for example, 4 and 5. And by running this whole file, open the Python interpreter, and by running this whole code, you will see that we will get the 9 as an output as an addition of 4 and 5. Now that was fairly simple, but sometimes you don't want to put these operations, the name of the module, that stuff like this. So the best way how to do it is to use from import statement. So you can rewrite this code into from name of the module from which you want to import specific operation, import addition. Now, in the right terminology, the operations is called module and addition is called a name. And name is a definition specified within the module. So in this case, the name addition will be imported only from the operations module. So we are able to use addition inside our code like this, 5.4. However, we are not able to use division. So to test it, let's run the addition. As you can see, it will run 9, but you cannot run the division. 4 and 2, because the Python will say name division is not defined. So because we didn't import the name from the module operations, we are not able to use it. And in order to use the division within the code, you need to specify the name after that. Division, right. So now you don't need to put the name of the module, the name statement into your code. You can directly put the name by specifying from import statement. Python allows you also to import every name from the module with a star, but this is not recommended syntax. The problem is, by specifying this syntax, imagine you have a big operations file with lots of informations and modules. And the problem is that sometimes Python will import a lot of stuff, and you don't know what the stuff will be by providing the star here. And sometimes you can override the built-in functions, built-in names with the names from the module. For example, there will be a function called print inside the module operations. And because you know the print built-in functions, when I will use this syntax and I will import a new print, the name of the built-in functions will be overridden by a custom function from the module. So by providing a star, I'm not sure what are the all names which I'm importing into my project. please don't use the star function. Always name the functions which you are using one after another. That's a good practice in the Python. Now, this was an intro of your custom modules, right? How to import them, how to manipulate with them. But sometimes you want to use a third-party modules. Now, the third-party modules are modules on the internet which were coded by someone else, not by you and not by Python. So not the built-in modules, not your custom modules, but modules, for example, from me or from another third party. And now I will show you how you can install the module to your machine and then use it in your code. Now, in order to handle, now I go back to a terminal. This is a terminal of a Mac. You can also run it from here by quitting the interpreter if you want. But I will run it from terminal because it's much clearer and visually acceptable for you. So, now I'm in the Python basics example. I can be wherever I want, right? So, in order to handle modules, Python, when you install the Python provides you a tool called pip. The pip tool stands for pip install packages. Yes, so the shortcut is basically nothing, but it is a manager for handling the manages or the modules from outside of the Python. So for managing and handling third-party modules. Imagine you need a function which will read some file which is called XML or YML. It's called YML, yes. So YAML file needs to be read into the dictionary in the Python. I know you don't know what's YAML file. The thing is, I need to put a functionality of someone's code into my code, right? So how to do it? So first of all, how to use a pip. You have the pip installed if you install the Python as I showed you in the first videos for Mac with the brew. So if you run pip 3, because you are using Python 3 when you want to use Python 3, you also need to use pip 3 when you want to use the pip for Python 3. And you run the version, and you get the output like user local lib python 3.7. You know that you are using the pip for the 3.7 Python, which you are using here in the Visual Studio Code. Exactly, that's the one. So now, when you want to install a third-party package, you can run a command called pip3 install and the name of the library. Now, many of you know, be like, well, but Michael, I cannot remember a lot of library names, so how do I do that? I will show you. We go to Google and we put there pip YAML install, right? So we are saying we are looking for a pip command to install a YAML package. So, and if you go here, the first result is something which is called pyml.pp. Now, the py or pypi is a special web page where a lot of Python libraries are specified. And as you can see, this is a py-YAML library, and it's saying YAML is a data serialization format designed for human readability, blah blah blah. Yes, so there is a description of this library, and let's use this library in our code. Now, so some of you may say, okay, so I will just go here to hands-on and I import YAML, right? And I run it. But the thing is, like, when I run it like this, and now I need to go to Python interpreter back again. When I run it like this, the Python is saying us module not found, no module named YAML. So the Python is saying, Michal, there is no module YAML, I cannot import it. So quit from there and go to this web page. And in the top you can see a pip command how to install a pyml library, right? So you can copy it, you can paste it here, but don't forget to rewrite the pip to pip3, because in the Mac you are using multiple Python versions, the number 2 and number 3, and we are using 3, you need to also specify the pip3 in this case. So pip3 install pyml, and if you press enter, and you will wait a couple of, I don't know, minutes, or it should be very fast, it will install the py-YAML library for you. So as you can see, downloading is done, and after that, successfully installed pyml version 5.3.1. And now, when you go to pip3 and put a command called list after that, you will see all the libraries which are installed in your Python. Now, pip is the basic library which comes with pip. Setup tools, it's the out-of-the-box Python library which comes with pip. Wheel is also the library which comes with pip, right? So these are the built-in libraries for pip, right? And then you have the PyYAML library which you installed right now. And there is this version which can be sometimes very confusing. And you can ask me, well, Michal, what is this version and how can I read it? So each package or each module in the Python can be specified with versions. And these three numbers stands. The first number stands for major version. The second number stands for minor version. And the third number stands for micro version. Now, the major version is incremented every time the authors of the package make some big update. So they add the new functions, yes. They make something which is not so often, right? So then there is the minor version, which is incremented in case of small updates, yes. So you just fixed some function which was returning error for your users and stuff like this. And then there is the micro version, which is just referring to very small minor updates. You adjusted the output of something, yes? Or you, I don't know, you just slightly update the name of something. Well, update of name is a big change. So just small updates, right? So whenever you download the package and you go to the web page of the package, there is the actual stable version printed here. So 5.3.1. So it's good if you have your local package the same version as the stable version of the package on the internet. If this version is lower in the major version, you may have a problem. It's a good idea to update the library. Yes, you can update the library just by pip install it again, or pip, if you run pip uninstall name of the library and then pip install, it will install a new version for you, right? So whenever the major version changes, it's a signal for you to update your library locally. Okay, so now we install the PyYAML, and now when we go back to code, we are able to import it. Now, how do I know I should put here YAML or not PyYAML? Well, I'm using this library quite often, and if you go to the home page of the library and open it, the new page, for example, it will tell you the usage of it and stuff, how to use it and so on. Yes, so there are also some examples. Go through the GitHub if you want. It's a good idea to use it, or you go like to Google and print the Python PyYAML usage or stuff like this, right? So now you can import the library by import YAML. So if I go back to the Python interpreter and if I run the PyYAML, you can see no error was presented. So I successfully installed a module outside of my computer from the web page directly to my Python. Now, I highly recommend install you things from pypy.org, because these are the trusted things. Yes, you can install the libraries from everywhere, from some GitHub repositories, but please make sure you know the source of these libraries, not to install something dangerous in your computer, okay? So having this library, then you can use it. Yeah, YAML has a lot of built-in functions which you can find here. For example, these are some of them. I won't cover right now the PyYAML library. The whole goal of this video was to teach you how to use your custom modules to import them. So the built-in modules we covered during the rest of the videos. I showed you how to import the custom functions from within your file system, how to install third-party modules from outside of your computer with the pip, and I show you some basic usage of the pip in your computer. Okay guys, that was everything for today's video. Thank you very much for joining the video. I hope I will see you in the next one.